Hi, so with this full moon, I'd like for you to know that if you commit to something now, you will be so glad that you did, because the work and the commitment and the sense of duty you put behind your purpose or what you feel you gotta do, you have to accomplish, is something that is going to be so valuable in the future. Now, if you are really committing to this specific thing, then the chances are very high for you to see victory in the future. But it doesn't just happen overnight, right? A lot of the times we like to envision ourselves making changes because it makes us very happy. Like if I start thinking, oh, I'm going to start eating so healthy and I'm going to start, practicing self-love and I'm going to do this and that for myself, it puts me temporarily, right? Even though I'm not there in the future yet, temporarily, I'm getting these endorphins, like I'm getting really excited to envision that. Yet through circumstances and through everyday life, that gets put on the back burner or we forget about it. And the temporary high and the temporary happiness we give ourselves satisfies us in the moment, but it doesn't quite show us that reality if we don't commit to it. So instead of thinking, envisioning it is very, very important in the universe. That's the first step. But instead of just, this is why I think it's deeply flawed when people talk about manifesting and, oh, it's just simple. It's this technique you can manifest with. It's work for me. Well, everyone is different. And I like that, you're putting your intention behind it and you're envisioning it. And some people need to physically see. I myself am someone like that. And I'm not saying these techniques don't work. I'm saying that action is the best thing you can do. Now, manifesting, especially in your beginning phase, works really well. Envisioning it, writing it down, making, vision boards, doing this technique and that technique. And there's so many techniques. But as you know, there's no formula. There's no perfect, concise formula to make anything happen when you're trying to manifest. But I like the intention behind it, and it's very important. So don't get me wrong. And first, when you begin this manifesting journey, you're going to start to see that things are working for you. Okay? If you are a beginner at manifesting, things are going to be working for you. But as you go along in your spiritual journey, you're going to find that maybe the things that you used to do to make, things manifest before you are no longer working, or they're kind of working kind of slow. And you're asking yourself, have I lost the magic? Is there something wrong with me? Do I not deserve these things that I want in my life? And then fear might set in for some people. Now, if you find yourself in that position, just know that is the universe that in your beginning stages wanting to make you a believer, because believing is the first step, but it's not the only step. You also have to put in action. And it's like, okay, I've heard this before, I got to put in action. But this full moon asks you to commit. And the more you commit to yourself, the more you commit to your purpose and your goals, the more you will see positive results come from it, and you will be victorious. But not just if you are so stuck on how do I manifest without putting in the action. Your action is the magnet between you and what you're trying to manifest and bring into your life. So it's time to own your power. It's time to own your power. It used to work before because it wanted to make you a believer. And now that you are a believer, you can't go back because things can happen for you. You are a master of your own life. But just as you are, you have to, follow it with action. And I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know where I got to that, but that's one thing I wanted to say. Also, you know, the stars have a great effect on us. It's not the only effect. Your personal will, your personal spiritual journey is much outweighs any type of anything that's external to you. But as you know, the planets are working within us as well. And some people who you look around, don't ever compare your journey, because timing is deeply personal. Like, there's some things that, when I have learned astrology, help me understand, give me a sense of patience, okay, within myself. It gave me so much patience and understanding of myself, and it was so magical that it had such a profound effect on me, and I needed to learn it, and I needed to help other people with whatever, whatever they were going through, to help them understand better that there are certain things and timings that are just so, it's happening every single moment, every single second. And some people who preach like, oh, look at me, I've found this apartment, and it's exactly how this house, and it's exactly how I envision, it's within my budget, and I got this car, and I got this job, and I got this handsome partner by my side, and da 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 da. It can happen for you, right? But those people are sometimes going through the jackpot of their timing, okay? And your jackpot will hit. It will hit. You're never going to go through your entire life not getting anything and just getting shat on left and right. I'm telling you, it's going to happen for you. But don't try to control your external life, but just try to work on your spiritual self, loving yourself, appreciating yourself, trying to spread love and joy within yourself, and it's external to yourself as well. And that is all you can do. That is all you can do, and just keep putting action. And I feel that as a collective, right, we have understood that, okay, believing was the stage. Now we got to put in action. Now we got to do our spiritual work. Now we got to find out where we're codependent to certain things, so that we can find independence within ourselves. Independence doesn't equal loneliness. Trust me, when you can find that, the people that you attract, the opportunities you will attract will be tremendous. But it first begins with putting in that action. You will see later victory. That is what Uttarashada, or this full moon, is about. Is first believing in yourself enough to love yourself enough to commit. You have this sense of duty towards something. That means cutting out distractions. That means loving yourself enough and loving your goal enough, not just thinking, oh, tomorrow, today, this is me. That's why I'm using it as an example, is, oh, today I ate like crap, but tomorrow I envision myself eating a salad and, drinking a green juice and taking a salt bath and doing all this kind of stuff for myself. It puts me in a happy mood. It gives me endorphins, like I said. It gives me this sense of like, accomplishment without doing the work, right? Because now my tummy is full with like pasta and stuff. And by the way, you have to eat, okay? You have to eat. I'm talking about myself, okay? When days go on and on, when I'm eating like processed food, and it's just low vibe, and it just puts me in a low vibe, but then I'm just like, it's a temporary drug. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to be healthy. Look at me. But progress is not overnight, right? It's commitment. It's committing. When you marry somebody, okay, it's, for what do people say? Like, for better or for worse, the sickness and health, whatever. And people just take it lightly. That's why it's like 50% divorce rates are higher now. And by the way, you don't need to get married. But this is the thing. This is loyalty to yourself, okay? Look at this. I have the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I just realized that. And it really is make it or break it. Okay, so like I said in that new moon video, you're gonna have to be the producer, the director, the actor, the distributor. You're gonna have to work at the movie theater to which this movie is being played. You're gonna have to work at the concession stands giving popcorn to people. You're gonna have to do everything. But that is when you realize just how worth it was for you to begin in the first place. So instead of, you know, falling victim to distractions day in and day out, today commit to something little by little. Like I said, it's not an overnight journey, but if you can do that, your future self will thank you. So I got cut off, but I was gonna pull some cards. I was also just saying how your future self will thank you for you putting in that work behind what it is that you're trying to manifest. But some of you might be saying, well, Ansel, I'm trying to manifest something that's out of my control. There's not much that I can do. Then first you can try to improve your inner world, and you'll see, you know, positive results happen in your external life, right? And we have the Four of Wands and the Nine of Cups. So like I said, it's very deeply, it means victory, right? But how did this Nine of Cups person get here? Let's just equate the cups to trophies, right? How did this person get that many trophies to where he feels super confident? Like, look at me, I'm so proud of myself. It's because he is proud of himself, and you should be. You should be proud of yourself for the journey that you have been on so far. But the trophies are not just handed, right? I guess when in school you have these competitions, it makes you feel less than when you don't get a trophy, or you're the last person to finish the race or whatever it is, and maybe that does affect certain people's self-esteem. But at the end of the day, it's because the people that won, right? Most of the time. So it's like they put in the work, they practiced, they did whatever it is. That's why they got to this position where they have a lot of achievements, and they should be proud of the achievements. And the Four of Wands too, a house is really dependent on solid structure. Like, having a solid structure is the most important thing in a house. You can't cheapskate on the equipment that you're using, or the materials you're using, rather, and even time. That's why this full moon in Capricorn ruled by Saturn, is all about time. It's about putting in a lot of time to get to where you want to be, and finally getting to this place where you feel that accomplishment, right? Like blood, sweat, and tears, literally. That's what Saturn or Capricorn is about. And so that's the journey, right? And it's the 10th house. It's the natural ruler of the 10th and the 11th house, which is 11th house is gains, but 10th house is about your public image, or your duty to society, or your career for some people. So it's like the spotlight is on you, and it's really dependent on how you're going to accomplish, how much work you're willing to put in to get to this position of the Four of Wands, which is worth celebrating, right? Every day should be celebrated, but at the same time, your birthday is such a big deal because it's another year accomplished, right? Your birthday is not every day when you wake up, even though you should hold the attitude of every day as a celebration. Your birthday is extra special because it's like, whew, I made it through level 25, 25 years old, level 30, level 50, level 60, right? Think of it as levels. And this is the person who accomplished all 9 levels, right? To get to stability, to get to happiness, to get to something worth celebrating. And interesting that the 10 of Pentacles is coming out as well. So this is really about the full moon here. The 10 of Pentacles is an old person. This is very Capricorn energy. 10 of Pentacles is this old person having been through all the stages, right? A child, a young adult, whatever, creating a family, to now this person is just observing his whole life, looking over his whole life, and he's created something that is long lasting because he decided to commit to something. This is the tree of life. the seed is planted and everything just sort of happens. And it, you know, trees are just, first of all, trees are used in so many different things. So this is like, talks about variety. It talks about, what's the word I'm looking for? It talks about your ability to like thrive in any kind of situation as long as you have deep roots. Actually, this full moon is also about honoring your teachers, right? Whether they're living, whether it's someone who's elder, like older, or just teachers in your life of all kinds. You know, children can teach us, our peers can teach us, animals can teach us. There's a teaching moment in everything. Or even like your teachers who are no longer here on earth, or have never even been on here on earth. I have many books by teachers that I have never met, that passed away even before I was born. But like, it's just, you know, honoring your teachers are very important, because they inspire you, you know, and they teach you every moment of the way of how to navigate life. And so honoring your teachers are very important. But Ten of Pentacles is saying, hey, this person's at the age of retirement. He doesn't have to work anymore because he's put in all that work, right? He's enjoying the fruit of his labors at this moment. That's what the full moon is about. So that's kind of what I wanted to say, and I'm just going to end it here. But yeah, so I'll talk to you on the next new moon.